Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. So, there's a new Ultra Deluxe version now available, and I thought about showing it now. So, yeah, last time we played, of course, we basically just played the normal ones we saw, so yeah, this is the new version, Ultra Deluxe, which should be a lot better. You can tell right away the UI for this is perfect. I seem to actually like this. So, I'm not quite sure what exactly there could be. I know exactly. I I played the game before. It was like October, I guess. So, yeah, this is now Ultra Deluxe. Just bought it. Here we go. I should know what is the point in this game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, so most of the cutscenes are also kind of high-res.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, here we are. So, yeah, all the UI is reworked, as you see. Which is kind of a good thing, actually. I like it. Okay, so, yeah. So here we are again. We are number 427. 427.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes. Okay, some of the textures are redesigned too. I think I noticed it. They're sort of like slightly high res. This door is different too. It's a good thing. Yeah, I noticed the textures are all high res. It's a good thing.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so if you guys hadn't known what Stanley Parable is, it's basically it's a game where you basically it's sort of like a choose your own adventure style. So basically, you have to choose which option you want. So I'll first start with listening to the narrator. So roll left. Yeah, I should know what exactly I'm doing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Wow, this isn't awesome. It's actually redesigned yeah, this table's redesigned. That's actually awesome. I think it's supposed to say I have money, I think. No, it says I hate Mondays. Yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, I think these modes were supposed to be like from Portal 2, I think. Everyone's unique. I don't think I've seen this in the original version. Yeah. It's all different.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, let's go up. I think this area is supposed to be a little bit darker. You know, brightness slightly different. I think.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Wow.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So okay, that's awesome. It actually darkened considerably. Okay, that's actually new. Normally it just didn't go as dark, but hell, this is awesome. Okay. Oh, crosshair appears too. Okay, that's nice. That's pretty smooth animation. That's actually pretty unique, actually. Okay, loading screen. I think that's probably the same, I guess.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Kind of noticed the elevator has a second floor again. Oh. That doesn't happen. Okay, that's not really supposed to happen. The light's not supposed to go out.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, apparently he does. I guess.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There it is. That's 427 right there. Just in the center of the screen. So yeah, that's where I basically am.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Hey, this elevator.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, I wanna real quickly see if I can turn on the saves. Okay, you can customize the, customize language to sound, but I'm not gonna go in for that. Size, the stick medium. Show color labels. I think I won't do that. Okay, let's see. Is there a quick save? Simplified? No, I'm not gonna use simplified. Okay, it doesn't seem to be that. Let's see. Is there a way to save? I mean, you could in the OG version, but it seems you can't in this. Well, let's just turn it off. But yeah, that's basically the normal story. Just, if you guys hadn't played it, so there it is for you.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Of course, I hadn't expected myself
Was it
to
over?
go for that.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
You can't jump in this. Okay, fuck.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, so that's the canon ending right there. There's another ending you can get to. I'll get to that. Alright, I'm back. So there's another ending where if you actually turn the system power on. So let's see this.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Oh, okay, that's...
A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. If you wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
And yes, that's what happens. So yeah, don't turn on the system, because that's gonna happen. And yeah, if you're wondering, there's no way you can actually stop it. There's actually no way.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So yeah, that's
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Notice crouching's actually quicker too. Yeah, cache station I noticed. New content. Oh.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New
content. I don't think. Well, this isn't new. This isn't the Ultra Deluxe though. Okay, well let's take a look. I'm not sure what to expect, but let's see. Yeah, this wasn't in the original. I think.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Wow. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Oh, that's great.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Alright, let's see.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Uh-huh, it sure is. We moving?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
Oh.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. The more content. So let's see what there is.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
What content is there? The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
Jump. Oh, you can actually jump. Okay. So you're able to jump, actually. Normally in the OG you can't. You can in this. Only when you're in the jump circle. I'm just spamming the button. There you go. Okay, so that's all the jumps. Perfect.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator.
Right,
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay, this looks like a different area, apparently. Thank you for enjoying new...
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
What the... Wait, is that there? Let's see it. Test achievement, please ignore. Alright, yes. That's true, that actually is.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Yes.
No frills. No gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Just like old times. Okay, here we go again. Wait, what? Oh, this is different. Oh, God. Okay, this isn't supposed to happen. Oh, well, the narrator didn't react. Okay.
Psst. Stanley! Come over here, in the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, yeah, you can crouch now. That's good. Kinda good, but it's sort of a snap crouch, if you ask me. Okay, what's in this? Tell me. Tell me your secrets.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
I don't know if I should have been recording this. Whatever. I'm just gonna put it on YouTube anyway. After all, that's what I want to do.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Los Angeles Times. Yeah. This is cool.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Well, at least it's playable on console, at least. That's kind of the thing. That means what the sort of the...
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Yes. Okay, The serious room. I can't access this. This is blocked. And that one open. So, what is that? Is that it, or what? What's next? The carpet textures, alright. Source SDK. Yes, this is in the source engine. That's good.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Okay, and then we backtrack to. Well, this is our.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh no. I hear some uncomfortable sounds.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh god.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is something really different. This is really something else. I mean, like the OGE release, it's like, it was definitely a kick, but it didn't.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
There it is, the skip
And
button.
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every...
Okay, I'll skip it again.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips.
How many times am I gonna do it?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh.
You're back.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting.
What am I doing? What did I do?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Nah, fuck you. I don't know why I'm doing it. Hello? Nothing, again? What the fuck? There's an alarm. What's gonna happen?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their...
How many times am I gonna do this?
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
Just constantly doing it. Is it gonna stop? How far does this go? How far did... Oh. Okay, it's actually... Okay, the room's degrading down. Oh, no. What Oh, there's light, though. What is happening? I don't know if I want to skip this, do it again. Oh, trees. Okay, plants now. Okay, it's pretty much Portal 2, I guess. And okay, now night. Wait, this is night? This is something else. I don't know where I've probably transported 600,000 years in the future. What am I done? What have I done? Oh no, the button! I think the Nera's just long gone now at this... Whoa. Oh god, wow. Why am I stepping out of this? It's a desert. Oh my god, this is actually awesome. Like, what's happening right now is awesome. No, you can't press it. Okay, I skipped enough. This is so cool, actually. Like, what's happening now is just actually amazing. I mean, I knew that Black Mesa's this awesome detailed soundtrack, but damn, this is way better. And what's happening? Ah, it's back at the start! Okay, well, that's the new content. I don't know how long we were at that, but...
All of his co-workers
That's
were
not
gone.
really what I was here
What could it
for.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's not really the reason I'm here, though. New content. Oh, what? Doing this again? Do I do it again?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, let's, we're going to do new content here. Oh, wait, that's the... I thought we were gonna crash in that car. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so what's this? Oh, that whole thing skipped. Okay, so what's the actual new content we got? Not, well, I mean, so we travel, like...
You see, Stanley, I've been
600,000
reflecting
years,
on the
I'm
Stanley
sure.
Parable
I
and
guess.
about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, hell yes.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Here's the sequel. Hell yeah. Dang, this is
Calling
awesome.
it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yep. For you guys wondering, this is how I make my thumbnails for YouTube videos. So yeah, that's literally it. That's how I make my thumbnails. Google Slides, right there. It's perfect. I do that all the
Now,
time.
to be clear,
so,
I haven't
yeah.
quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up
That's
around
right,
them.
the show
It'll all
before.
work itselve out. Game
Red
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
It's yeah, this is really perfect. I gotta say, Expo Hall. Okay, yeah.
Here we are. Go on,
Detail.
try out some of the new features.
Yeah, this detail is actually more better than Black Mesa. Like, it's visual. I love it. This is actually awesome. Hear your name in the game. Alright.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Too big.
So with that in mind,
Right.
my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, let's try it.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Yep.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay, we can progress a bit. Alright. So, we can, see what else there is. Although I honestly have no idea what else there is.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Yeah, this detail, like, this look on the ceiling, that's so amazing. Like, I absolutely love it. Oh, jump circle, alright.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Yeah. Decoration. New plus easy achievement. Can't that simple. Alright, I can get an achievement. Where am I going though?
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Backtrack or... Okay, I could backtrack, but I'm not sure if I want to do this. Damn, what do I do? Super go outside. Don't play for 10 years. Oh, fuck. That's impossible. That would literally be impossible. I'm not sure what these are for. So apparently I can't get it. Well, that's shit. But whatever. Let's explore more. Let's just explore more of this. I mean...
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Okay, there's gotta be something here. Please, no screenshots. Disobeying the sign.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well... I think
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Oh, fuck, I chose the left, damn it. Right, well, that's what we gone with, so...
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
sure did. Okay, so what else? Okay, the free achievement. The infinite hall. It won't end. An infinite hall. What is this gonna be?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh no. Oh god. Do I do this? Let's do it! Oh no. Legit falling.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great! Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
That room will open. Room is inaccessible. Okay, so let's see what else. Because I had no idea. Okay, that's blocked off too. Okay, so yeah, that's infinite hole, and you can just press G to return. And I mean that's a clear thing, if you ask me. So yeah. Find them? Can you find them? I don't know. I don't know if I can, but I'll see.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Alright, I got it. That's one of 6. Okay, that's it. Alright. Well, I guess...
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah. It's kind of something. What else is there? Not sure what else. Lower level. Exit. This is an amazing vista, though. I never really seen it. I'm not sure if I ever really see a museum.
Oh goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? Yes. All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Okay, where is that bucket? There we go. Bucket. This is a bucket. Dear God, there's more. No. This is all in different languages. That's cool. That's cool. It'd be in different languages. Yeah. Alright, let's see the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Alright, let's use it. Okay,
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Alright, I guess I can exit now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Yeah, you really shouldn't. I really should, I guess. Especially this awesome sky. Like, it's so light, it's beautiful. Like, I never seen anything like that. Like, I don't see anything like this. It's amazing. Like, you know, like, I never see a museum like this in my life. It's so awesome. Like, so much. I literally enjoy it. Please, no screenshots. Still disobeying the signs.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yay. Yay.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. Awesome. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, here we are. So we're already playing it already. I guess we'll go in.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
So it just goes full circle,
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley...
Can I skip it? Yeah, let's just skip it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. Stanley picked up the bucket.
And I got the bucket, yes. I needed it. Oh, the new content is gone too. Wait, are the settings kept? Well, you get a FOV. Let's adjust it 90. Okay, it's all the same, I guess. Video controls. Yeah, I have the bindings. Yeah, Stanley Parable too.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright. I guess we play as normal. This gone on long enough. I'm unsure what there is.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
It's just me and the bucket. Be a good name for a movie.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Wow, that's
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, so yeah, that's awesome. I love it. After all, with a bucket, anything is possible. I have a bucket in my room, but whatever. I have this.
The elevator
anyway.
raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Of course I need it. What did I expect?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Right?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Yeah, what did the two think? I mean, the two thought something, but...
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
America?
Everyone in the office was
Whatever.
being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, the button for the
Was the
elevator.
bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
They sure did.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed
lighting
the
on the
bucket
bucket, too.
tighter. His one friend
the
in the
lighting on the
entire
bucket, it's kinda
world.
cool.
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But
Yeah.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yep, that's how you do it. That's how things go.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Uh-oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
About to find out. What's happening? So, that's it? Alright, so, I guess that'll do for, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, or Stanley Parable 2. So, if you enjoyed, give the video a like, remember to subscribe, ring the bell for more videos, and, yeah, that's just about it. So, yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, or, yeah, the next video, whatever.